Hello, and welcome back to the Live Out Loud podcast. On this space, we talk about intentional living and wholehearted parenting. My hope is to bring conversations to the table that absolutely encourage us to live in out loud faith and to live with intention for the kingdom of God in our family lives and in our personal lives as well. I am so glad you are here joining our conversation today. All right, I cannot be the only one who is excited for summer season, all of the summer things, and I get super excited when I walk into the stores and I see that they have put out all of their fun water toys and the floaties and popsicle, all the popsicle things and just all the fun summer things that come with this season. And I just get really excited. I get excited for the memories that we are going to make, for the time we're going to spend together, a little bit less schooling and a little bit more playing, and that is just really fun. Summer is just a special season to spend with our families, but it can also go by very quickly. As most of us know, we will blink and we are right back at the beginning of school year and back in the rush of things. And as I thought about our summer and what this year's summer is going to look like, I wanted to approach it in a new way and set goals, kind of like we did at the beginning of the year and assessing, the rest of our year. I wanted to go into summer assessing our season and realizing that we're not going to get the summer back with our kids at the same age that they are right now. This year, my kids are 8, 10, 12, and 14. I'm never going to be at these ages again with the kids in the stages that they are right now. Next year, it'll be completely different with different things going on. And I really want to soak in this time that we have, and just as we should every day, but going into summer, wanting to just be present and be intentional about it with my family. So that is going to be today's conversation, is talking through my process, and I'm going to share 3 things that I am doing to go into the summer with an intentional mindset. And maybe you've done this as well. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what has worked. And if you want to share what hasn't, shoot that over. And let's connect that way. And let's inspire others to connect with their families this season. So yeah, I would love to hear from you, friends. Okay, I told you I was going to share 3 of the ways I am going into this summer season with an intentional mindset. And my number 1, and it comes to no surprise that I am talking to us as moms here first, it is the voices we let speak into our hearts and mind. Sometimes the summer season brings with it its own kind of rhythm, not the same rhythm that we are used to in our normal, when everyone's in school and we have our routines. And summer has its own kind of rhythm, and it can be chaotic and crazy or all over the place and really, really fun as well. But sometimes we get so wrapped up in the joys of summer that we forget to stop and look at the voices that are speaking to our hearts and to our minds. So here's how I'm applying this point to my life. The heat of the summer afternoon sets about a little lazy feel around the house after schoolwork is done. And yes, we are still doing a little bit of schoolwork on certain days because we do school year round. So that just means extra school in the summer. But in the afternoons, the heat of the summer pulls everyone to this little lethargic and lazy feel. Well, let's read more books. I want to find good books that I want to read, that I can get lost in the pages and that can inspire my life and build my life up. I want to find good authors who I trust and I want speaking into my life and read what they have written. I want to read more of what God has to say with the extra time that I have. I want His voice speaking to me through His word. I want His truths to be the loudest voice for my heart this summer. Wouldn't it be wonderful to get to the end of this season and look back and say, wow, this was the best summer I have ever experienced, and all because we let the voices of truth ring in our ears and echo in our hearts. So yeah, I want that. Another way I want to be intentional about the voices that I let speak into my mind and my heart is the social media voices that I let speak loudly sometimes. I can see wonderful mothers putting together amazing activities or going on these awesome vacations, and I am so glad for people and for their families that they get to connect that way. But I think we all know that we can compare so quickly and we can lose sight of what we have in front of us. Not all summers look the same, and not all families look the same. And I want to be able to soak in exactly where we are at and just realize the blessings that we have and live in those and let that voice speak louder than the voice of comparison. And not just that, but with social media come so many opinions and they seem to just come at you through the screen, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. And with everything going on at this next, end of year, we can just feel so overwhelmed with these voices. So one way that I am being intentional about that is seeking out truth. And sometimes it's turning off that phone and putting it away because I don't need to be looking at that right now. And I don't need to be reading those opinions or getting fed by that. And just being intentional about the way we are spending our time on social media and online, and just the ways that we are letting those voices speak to us. So yeah, there's a couple examples for you of the way I am being intentional about that first point in my summer. And I hope that this sparks ideas for you and how maybe you need to assess the voices that are speaking to you and into your life right now. And maybe we need to ground ourselves in truth and everything that is good and holy and pure and lovely, and let that be what speaks to us this summer. And speaking of good and pure and lovely, it brings me right to my second point, which I get really excited about, and it is this: a reminder that our kids want us. Pure and simple, our kids want us. What does that mean? They just want you. Whatever it is you bring to family life, whatever it is that you bring to your children and sparks joy, they want that. They don't want us always put together and always done with our hair up and looking great and then the house looking perfect. They want our silliness, our quirkiness, our goofy songs, and the silly games that we play together, and the meals that we prepare for them. They want us. So often, the memories that my kids will bring up that that have really stuck with them about me are the times that I was being silly, are the times that I was being goofy and letting my hair down, right? And dancing in the rain. Those are their favorite memories. Not when I was poised and collected, but whenever I was just me. And our family life is a safe space, and it is a place where we should be fully ourselves because it is the people who accept us the most and the easiest, and we can just be. And that is what I want to go in the summer with, is just being fully present. So let's get out there this summer and be with them. If you can jump on the trampoline, mama, get on the trampoline with them and jump. If you can race across the yard with them, do that. Or flip across and do cartwheels and round-offs with them out in the field, do that. If you can sit and play games for hours, do that with them. If you can come up with silly rap songs to go with dinner, sing those songs. Enjoy their giggles that fill the home and watch them come alive whenever you laugh. I know my kids do. Every time I laugh, their eyes sparkle, and it is such a beautiful thing to share with them. And I don't know if anyone else's laughter can make your children's eyes sparkle quite like yours. So I would just encourage us to laugh a little bit and just be in the moment with our children. Our kids want us. Whatever it is that we bring to the family, they want it. They want it all. And our last one for today, it is reset minds and spirits often. I think that part of our job description, which is not disclosed up front, I will say that you kind of learn it as you go, is assessing the people in our home and their hearts and their spirits and where they're at. Just like we do with everything else. Whenever something in the home needs to be reset, we reset it, right? And it's no different with our kids and our children's hearts. We can see when things need to be reset. And with all of the summer activities, it is easy to get caught up and just go from one thing to the next because, yes, you want to soak all of your time in, and that's wonderful. But let's not forget to take those minutes to pause, to unwind our minds, to settle the spirit, and just to press into the silence where needed, into the quiet moments, into reading, into conversations, whatever that reset may look like. I know for our family life, it goes a very long way in the health of our life and in some of the ways that this happens for us. And it just depends on the kind of reset that needs to happen. Sometimes it's a big reset. I know recently for us, there was one that took a couple of days, and we really just blocked those 2 days off from our schedule, and we stayed home and we reset in ways that our hearts really needed to ground and go back to the truths, and that's okay. Block those days off of your calendar. I had a friend who asked if we could go up and meet them at a park, and I had to say, I'm sorry, we can't today because it is a reset day. And what happened in those 2 days for our family life was incredible. So I would just encourage you to, if you need to block off some days on your schedule, do it, because in the long run, it will pay off. But most of the time, they just have to be small resets. In the afternoons, quiet time. It works wonders for the family, and it works wonders for us as moms. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just need a little peace and quiet. I just need a little separation from everything that I have to do, and having a few minutes in the afternoon when everyone is busy reading or busy doing a quiet activity or having their own personal quiet time. It is a great time for me to escape to my room or escape somewhere else and just reset my own mind. I know often for me it is necessary to do this for me to finish out the evening well. If I want to bring my A game for dinner and for bedtime, this is best for me to take a few minutes in the afternoon and just get a little separation and just quiet my spirit and reground. And the kids need that as well. A little separation from each other is very healthy and can remind us that when we are together, it is a beautiful thing. So yeah, I would encourage us all to build this into our schedules and not forget how important this is, just as play dates and days out camping with family and time together with friends and barbecues in the backyard. All of that is great and wonderful, but this is also an important part of our family life. Thank you for joining me today on the Live Out Loud podcast. I hope that today's conversation has been life-giving to you and it has inspired you to take steps into your summer and go into it with open hands, an excited and expectant heart as to what God can do in this summer for you and your family life. I hope it has given you prompts to assess your summers and make it one that is amazing. And my prayer is that this summer is the best for you and your family and you and your kids, and it is full of memories made. And I just hope that you have a wonderful next week. And thank you again for joining me here on the Live Out Loud podcast. Until next time.